Everybody, this is SSG, aka Sergeant Sentinel, and thank you for joining me for another live stream on the Sergeant Sentinel Gaming YouTube channel. I do greatly appreciate it. This one was kind of a spur of the moment thing, so I just wanted to play some Grand Theft Auto and chill with whoever decides to drop in. Completely cool. Also, if you do enjoy this live stream, definitely hit the like button. If you have something to say, let me know in the chat. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, definitely do so. And share this on social media so we can have more people dropping in. I appreciate it. Pretty crazy about that leak that GTA 6 was going to get delayed, huh? I thought there was some legitimacy to it, but it turns out there wasn't, which is cool. Means it's not delayed, and I'm all down with that, you know. If they have to delay it, it's fine, man, but it's like, I'd prefer they don't, because even though next year is crowded and it's stacked, man, I can't wait to play Grand Theft Auto 6. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
Left, you say right. I say become a doctor. You say become a patient. I say, who is that?
Hello, Missy. Wow, Franklin. You never told me that you had a sister.
I'm Denise. Franklin's
Anyway, if you are watching this, I definitely hope that you're having a great Monday. I normally hate Mondays, but today ain't too bad. It's pretty chill.
Here, darling. Why don't you...
And, as the weather cools off, I do prefer it a little more than the summer heat. I know a lot of people prefer the summer, but I kind of prefer the fall because, you can wear them fashionable jackets and the beanies and all that other nice gear. And I'm just not a fan of the heat, I'd prefer to be a little chilly outside than to be, sweating my fucking ass off, obviously. So I'm looking forward to the weather cooling off a little bit.
Friends, all right? Now let's party.
Look, I had plans on getting some rest until this clown and my aunt came and fucked that up.
My nigga, I just came over here to holler at you about the little thing.
Man, I said I'm tired, dog.
What fucking thing? I love things. I'm the king of things.
I ain't talking to you, homie.
Hey, let's go do something about the thing, okay?
What thing?
Talking about the little stretch thing, man.
Fucking beautiful. Perfect. It's a gangbang. Let's go. Come on.
You know, one of the biggest things that bothered me about Grand Theft Auto 5 and the inclusion of what used to be, you know, Grove Street families is that you never, ever, ever really see any other gang members for Grove Street other than Frank, Lamar, and Stretch, who of course Stretch sold out. You know, he joined the Ballers. But it's like such a missed opportunity because look at these streets. Look at these streets right now. You know, every single one of these streets over in the Grove Street area could be just completely crazy with gang warfare and drive-bys and all this crazy shit. But no, it's, you know, everything's chilling. It's like a ghost town almost. You know? And it's, I get it that, you know, oh, well, we code this, and it's like, stop, man. There's still places in the U.S. where there's a lot of gang warfare going on and shit. There's some places where the cops won't go unless they're like, you know, tactical officers with body armors and ARs and shit. So it's like you could have had something like that in GTA rather than, oh, Rico, so none of them are around anymore. Or just reference them. It's like, don't do that shit, man. Don't get my hopes up, you know? Make it where, like, give us your best, not your mid, you know? That was one of my complaints about GTA 5 is it just felt like there was no gang that was really opposing the Ballers. It felt like they were the only street gang left. Because you see those guys all over the place, but you never see any guys from Grove Street in it.
This the homie house right here.
Hey, look, everybody be cool, man. Lamar about to do his thing, all right?
One of the things it did get right, though, is about regarding gang warfare, is actually about Trevor, how he fights all these different groups. You know, it's kind of like the Rampage missions where he's fighting the rednecks, and he's fighting the soldiers, and he's fighting the Ballers, and he's fighting the, you know, the hipsters on the scooters. That part I really like about Trevor. You know, that it's like he's almost more of a gangster than Franco Lamar is. You know, and you got this scene, sure, but it's like everybody's ripping everyone off. No one's making any money, you know, and it's all the Ballers everywhere. And like I said, it's like, you know, Frank and Lamar's people, like, they don't exist. Like, they're nowhere to be found. And it's like, why would you, you know, it's like, why would you make this game so that, you know, so that there's no opposing gang? I would have like 3 or 4 opposing gangs and just have the entire city all about that type of shit. You know, it's just such a wasted opportunity, and there's a lot of that with GTA 5, in my opinion. You know, especially coming from San Andreas, which just, it gave you so much. You know, and then with GTA 5, it felt like they gave you enough, or what they considered was enough, and they were like, well, you know, we're not gonna worry too much about this because, you know, we're Rockstar Games. What are they gonna say, right? And it's like, no, you should always be trying to do above and beyond. Don't do like the bare damn minimum. You know, always go above and beyond and have like tons of gang warfare missions and shit. That would be so goddamn cool, but they didn't do it. one of my biggest complaints when you switch back and forth with some of these characters is they don't use weapons that you would normally use in these types of tactical situations.
All available South Los Santos units. We've got a 415 on Grove Street in Davis. Members of the Ballers gang involved. Forces authorized.
Left down here.
Kind of like how Trevor was using a shotgun for this type of shit. It's like, I wouldn't have done that. Definitely wouldn't have done that, especially when you got guys 50, 60 meters engaging you. It's like, why the hell would you choose that, Trevor? So I got to switch to him, had to switch to an AK, and now that I got to run, I have to switch to the Uzi. It's like these guys, sometimes when the AI is controlling them, they pick weapons that just don't make any damn sense. What's up, Poison Maniac? Thanks for dropping into the live stream. Appreciate it, buddy. This was kind of an impromptu thing. I wasn't sure if I was going to live stream tonight or not, but I said, fuck it. You know, why not, right?
Damn, it's stinking this motherfucker.
Shit ain't no river, man. It's a motherfucking sewer.
Then we're in the right place.
That's cool. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for that.
Get me off this thing!
Chill, let's just get out of here first.
Oh my god!
So what do you think about the whole poisoned, Poison Maniac? What do you think about the Astrobot thing, man? Because a lot of people are all pissed off about that shit. You got PlayStation gamers pissed off that Xbox gamers are talking shit, and Xbox gamers are, you know, they're talking all kinds of shit about it, and it's like, damn, can't y'all two just chill the fuck out? Because I think, you know, it's like, because I played Astrobot's Playroom, and I thought it was badass. But you got these Xbox guys, oh, it's a little kiddie game, and it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You sound like a moron. You know?
Split, my nigga, and keep our heads down.
We ain't gonna lose the cops on these things.
Yeah, man, shit, we need to get to lean.
Yeah, it's, the whole thing with Astrobot is just kind of, very petty, and you're having people, you know what, it's kind of like this. It's like the PlayStation, it's like the PlayStation group had so much egg on their faces after Concord ate shit, and now they're like, oh, they're...
Follow me, all right? I'll get us out of this.
I understand them kind of being a little upset because, you know, Concord turned out to be an absolute dumpster fire and a half. But it's like, to the Xbox gamers, it's like, you guys don't have to be fucking petty. You won, essentially, you know, shit. You guys should be chill, you should be happy. You know, Concord looked like shit, and it, you know, it sold like 200 copies, and it's just like, but, you know, and I could understand criticizing Concord, but it's like, don't criticize, you know, especially like that, you know, don't criticize Astrobot, because that's a very well-made game, and yeah, it's a platformer, but the same people, oh, it's a kiddie game, you're calling for Banjo-Kazooie, get the fuck out of here, who wants Banjo-Kazooie anyway, you know, it's like no one but like 20 people want that shit, you know, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't make it, but what I'm saying is, it makes no damn sense, you know, it's like the same people calling Astrobot a kiddie game are like, oh, Banjo-Kazooie, and I'm like, you realize that's like, you could call that a kiddie game, you realize that, right? You know? It's just, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like you said, you know, two sides of the same coin kind of thing. Oh, I can't believe it, Trevor died, what the fuck? That sucks. You know what? I always have problems going up this hill because Trevor's a fucking retard, so it's not a big surprise.
We ain't gonna lose the cops on these things.
I guess it's a good thing I'm not monetized because this entire live stream would be pulled just for that one mark. Yeah. I don't give a shit. I'm not monetized, so it's all good. I need like 500 more followers to even be able to apply to get monetized, and thousands of more. God damn, I hate that. I hate it when I'm getting chased by police and it calls through on the controller mic. I hate that shit. Let me see. Yep, he has a.
Suspect last seen in southern El Burro Heights.
Alright, now I gotta get the. You know what? And I don't even have any fucking grenades. I should have stocked up, but I didn't realize this was the mission I'd be doing. You know? So, I should have stocked up on grenades. For the grenade launcher, that way I could have shot this right out of the air. It's all good though. I just have to hustle. Get Trevor's slow geriatric ass up this hill. Definitely gonna make him go to the gym and do some running because he fucking sucks. God, he's so fucking slow. Yeah, it's 1,000 subs. I think I have like 480 or some shit like that. Some guys that are hustling like hell, and they got, you know, they'll have, Jesus, like, they'll have 1,000 3 months of being on YouTube, and I've been on YouTube for like 4 goddamn years. But, you know, I haven't really been doing a hell of a lot, you know, regarding pumping my Jesus fucking video. I haven't really been doing as much as some of these guys, so I can't blame anyone but myself. You know, and I don't. I'm just like, it is kind of amazing that it happened that fast. But then again, it's like, again, some of these guys are pumping out 2 or 3 videos a day, and they're making good videos, so I can't really fault them for it. You know, I can't say, well, I'm doing the same thing they're doing and they succeeded and I didn't. That's not the case. You know, it's not that we were doing the same thing, it's that they were putting in a hell of a lot more work, and I get it. I just, you know, I had more real world shit going on. And hold on a second. Fucking phone alarm. Anyways, yeah, you know, so I just had real world shit going on, and it's hard, you know, when you got stuff going on and you can't devote time to content creation or live streaming or being on podcasts. It's rough, you know. It's just one of those things where it's extremely hard, and if you can devote time to it and you're really, you know, putting your best foot forward, so to speak, and you're not growing, then you got to look at the type of content you're putting out, you know. But it's like, if you know, if I'm actually putting in the work, then I know that I'm going to be growing. And I have been putting in a little more work. Like I said, I'm trying to basically handle real world shit and get it mitigated enough to where I can focus more on content creation. It's not always that easy. Sometimes it is a little more difficult. You know, you look at the podcast that I just had, 3 episodes, and I had to cancel the 4th because I have a back issue that makes sitting in chairs hard, and it makes walking and standing and a whole bunch of other shit difficult. You know, so it's like, I have to handle that really before I can focus on being part of a podcast. I got another offer to be on someone's podcast as a permanent panel member, you know, and I've been getting several of these offers, and I appreciate it, you know, I really do, because it means that I'm actually a decent podcaster, enough that people are asking me, and it's not, you know, little bitty podcasts like what, oh, we've been around for like 30 minutes, and, you know, we've been around for 30 minutes, and we think we know what we're doing. No, a lot of these guys that ask me, you know, they've been around the podcast game for a while, and I greatly appreciate them asking me. It means so much. It means that I've impressed them enough to where they're like, hey, man, you want to, you know, be part of this? And that's great, you know, and I'd love to be part of that. But unfortunately, you know, like I said, it's hard, especially when I have the back issue, you know. So I'm like, fuck, man, I got to figure this out first. And once I figure the back issue out, and I'm like, hey, am I going to do the podcast on my own? Am I going to be part of someone else's podcast? Once I get my shit handled, basically, then I can go and figure out the podcast thing. And it's like 1 week I had 10 different people asking me if I wanted to be on their podcasts, you know. And it's cool, you know, I appreciate that, I really do, and it sucks having to turn people down, you know, because I'm like, damn, you know, I want to be part of podcasts because I enjoy talking about gaming, And I'm pretty chill as far as gaming goes. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be shitting on one console all the time or shitting on the other. It pisses some people off that I don't choose sides, essentially. That I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm an Xbox gamer, but I still give Xbox shit if they fuck up. Some people, some people toe the line with Xbox. And no matter what Xbox does, no matter what they do, Xbox is not wrong in their eyes. They're like, oh, they have a plan, and oh, this, and oh, just trust Phil. I'm like, fuck that. If the guy screws up, give it to him. Don't give him a pass just because you like Xbox. Fuck no. The way that your brand grows and survives is you have to be critical when they fail. You praise them when they win, but you criticize them when they fail. And some people in the gaming community just don't like that. Which, I mean, I get it, Some of these people have the group mentality, or the pack mentality, I should call it. Okay, let's go. I'm getting out of this cop car, because I'm tired of that fucking radio. Yeah, let me see. Alright, anyways. Damn, where's his car? His car got impounded. He had the souped-up car from Mad Max. That's alright, I'll take this. Yeah, so anyways, you got a lot of PlayStation gamers are like this. Not everybody. Well, I shouldn't even say a lot. I should say some. I can't say definitively that a lot are like this. Some are like this. Give me a second, I gotta check something. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I appreciate that, Maniac. What they think I have is called sacroiliitis, where, it affects your back, your hips. I was in a parachute jump when I was in the Army it was 20 years ago as of July that I was in the injury. I was in the parachute jump injury. I was part of the 82nd, and I injured my hip on a jump, and they had me on a backboard for like 4 or 5 hours in the hospital. It fucking sucked. And they told me I'd always have problems with my hip. And even when I was in great shape and I didn't have the back issues, I still had problems with my hip where it would ache, if I lay on it wrong. Before my hip injury, on my deployment, hell, I could sleep on hard dirt on concrete and I was fine. After the hip injury, I just couldn't do it anymore, And so this condition is kind of stemming from that. There's a number of different ways to treat it. It's kind of chronic, so it'll never go away, but it's treatable. And when you're perfectly healthy, you're kind of like, oh, I never want a condition like that. I don't know what I would do. But when you get a condition like this, yeah, it sucks that you have it, but it's basically music to your ears if it's manageable. Like 100%. Because you're like, damn, at least I can lessen the pain, and I can live with it, and I can maintain some level of mobility. It's like, does it suck that I can't do martial arts anymore like I used to? Yeah, it does. But it's just one of those things. It just happens, And I don't... It's not like I'm just saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter, because it does. But it's one of those things I can't really do anything about.
Vamos, let's go.
And it's, I'm obviously a disabled veteran. I don't talk about that a lot on Twitter. You'll have some people that will talk about their disabilities a lot. I usually don't. I don't even think I have it on my Twitter profile, just because I try not to make that my defining thing, if you know what I'm talking about. You'll have some people that that's like their claim to fame or whatever you want to call it. And I'm not saying, that I'm using that as an example, like how some people, their claim to fame, something that draws attention to them. They're like, oh, I'm disabled, so here you go, right? And you'll have some people that's their whole persona. They're like, I'm disabled, you know, and they kind of try to put their whole thing around it. And I mean, that's up to every single person how much you want to make that a part of who you are or your personality online or any of that stuff. But as far as me being a disabled veteran, I really try not to. Just because I kind of feel like there's a stigma with disabled veterans, and especially in areas that don't like veterans, they'll give veterans a lot of shit. You know, say they're freeloaders, and they didn't do enough to serve their country because now they're, you know, they have this wrong and they want to check, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. You know, I'm like, it's not even about that, you know. But I've heard it before. I've heard it from some of my neighbors, which is crazy. You know, my whole thing though is my personality, my persona is kind of with the military shit, but it's also with gaming. You know, it's just, and again, for some people, like they won't have anything else that draws people's attention to them but their disability.
That's it, right? Yes.
You know, and it's kind of like a disability shouldn't be something you hold up and you're like, hey, pay attention to me because I have it. It's like you should be like, I'm disabled, so it makes my life difficult, but I work past it.
But I'm scared that she's
You
gonna
know,
leave me.
I have a couple of cousins that have disabilities. They do the same shit. You know,
Whoa.
but like I said, that's their claim to fame.
Mr. Raspberry Jam.
And I don't mean for it to sound like that or come across like that, but that's like their thing. You know, they're like, hey, I got this, or hey, I got that, so, you know, pay attention to me. And it's like, I don't want to be like that, you know? It's like, it's kind of complicated, you know? There's a gamer on Twitter that has disabilities, but rather than cry about it, he's actually done something pretty smart with it. And I'm not gonna reference him, but the way he kind of spun it, to where he's not like, oh, I have this or I have that wrong with me. He's made it his personality, but in a good way. You know, and he still has a sense of humor, and he's a great guy, and he's a important part of the gaming community. And I think it's great for him, but it's like it's not something I'm gonna do. You know, so that's why I don't mention it. I'm just kind of you know, I try to stay low key with that type of shit. You know. I think everybody who's going to succeed as a content creator or as a live streamer has some type of claim to fame, so to speak. You know, some people want to use things like that. Other people want to use stupid stuff, you know, to draw attention to themselves. And it's difficult, especially with it's difficult because the lockdowns made so many people live streamers that suck. And I'm not saying that I'm phenomenal or anything. You know, I don't have a camera on. You have some live streamers out there who just got started and they're phenomenal and they throw their weight behind it and they really embrace the performer aspect of being a live streamer, right? And that's the thing, like with being a live streamer, you have to stand out and you have to get people's attention. And you got some people that, like I said, rather than have talent, they'll rely on something that to basically differentiate themselves. You'll have some people that will say, hey, I'm disabled and I have this and this and that, and they'll use that to draw attention. It's like it's important to say, hey, you know what, I have disabilities and I work through them, but that shouldn't be how you draw people to you necessarily. You know, it has to be your charisma. It has to be who you are underneath all that. It can't just be, hey, you should pay attention to me because of this. You know, and like I said, the one individual who does have significant disabilities, and he's made that his persona, it's his attitude and it's how he conducts himself and his conversation level that really draws people to him, you know, that makes him an important part. And that's something you gotta, like, a lot of these people that are new to live streaming, that's something they gotta understand. If you don't have charisma and you don't have a little bit of self-depreciation in there, you know, it's going to be extremely hard for you. And even with females, you know what, and I've said this before, that if females, you know, basically they don't have many morals and they wear skimpy clothing and stuff, they're going to succeed. That's not always the case, especially not now, because you have the market of live streaming flooded so much, you know, the live streaming market is flooded so much, especially since the lockdowns. You know, so the problem is that you have so many people, like I said. Oh God, you know what? I would never call anyone out by name, obviously, but I've run across quite a few people, and I've checked out their live streams, and they're horrible. And that's not saying they can't get better, but it's kind of like this. I gave my wife this analogy when we were talking about this a few days ago. I said, imagine like this, right? You have World Wrestling Entertainment, and you have AEW, and you have, let's say you still have TNA Impact, and they're the wrestling organizations in the city. Well, with the lockdowns, everyone's forced back inside, and now you have tons of people that are all wrestling in their backyards, and they're all putting it on YouTube, and they're clogging up the market. And it's like, kid, it's like you're 5'8", you're 165 pounds. You know, it's like it's like the amount of muscles someone like Chris Jericho would have in his bicep, you don't have in your whole body, yet you're clogging up the whole thing on YouTube and having these crappy backyard wrestling matches along with 50,000 other people. It's like you're clogging up the market so that it's harder for talented people to shine through. You know, and the talented people are still going to shine through, but you have so many people out there live streaming. And, you know, I would say that, like, out of every 50 live streamers you've seen pop up since the lockdowns, maybe 2 of them should be live streamers. The rest of them should just be watching. And I'm not saying anybody can't be, you know. I think the Ratatouille thing makes a lot of sense. Not everybody can be a live streamer, but a live streamer can come from anywhere. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, there's no limitation to where you can start at if you're a live streamer, but not everybody should be a live streamer because they just don't have the talent. And yes, it takes talent to be a good live streamer, you know. Now me, I'm more of a content creator. I live stream, for fun sometimes. I don't live stream a hell of a lot. But I do think, like Sergeant Jackson, he's part of the Regiment Gaming. You know, he's a live streamer, he's badass, he's really playing to his audience. And he's like, hey, you know what? For every sub, I'm doing push-ups. Or, you know, sometimes he's like, hey, I'm taking a shot, or I'm taking a swig of beer, or whatever. He's always playing to his crowd. He always has that level of excitement. He's always on fire with his live streams. That's why he draws the numbers, because he has that charisma and he knows what works. He has that personality and he runs with it. You know, that's what it takes. And you have a lot of these guys that are live streaming that have about as much, they have about as much charisma as a fucking wet cardboard box. And it's like, Jesus, guy, you gotta, you know, it's like you're not reading stereo instructions. You have to have some inflection in your voice. You have to have something that you can really talk about when you're live streaming. If you're on camera, you know, don't have like a soggy fucking baby diaper sitting on a bookcase that's behind you while you live stream. Don't be eating while you live stream. It's just like some of this stuff, you know. Yeah, I just live stream on the side. Content creation is my thing first, yeah. You know what, and I'm a writer, so writing a lot of the stuff that I write, you know, because you got to write scripts for your, sometimes you can wing it, but other times you really want to write it out. So it's kind of in my wheelhouse, so to speak, you know, with content creation. But yeah, I don't live stream a lot. You know, I probably, which is cool, you know. Again, I live stream for fun. I don't really, but some of these guys, and I'm not going to call anyone out. I would never call anyone out. But I've seen guys that I follow on Twitter that bitch and complain, oh, no one's checking out my live streams, and oh, why don't you guys like me? And it's like, stop, dude. It's like, you gotta stop. Because it's like, if people aren't watching your live streams, you know, you just have to keep improving. You gotta put on that smile, you know, the smile on your face. Try something different. Mix it up, you know. It's like, if that's your main thing. Like me, I'm content creation. So if I have 2 people check out my live stream, that's cool. If I don't, that's fine. My main push is content creation. And, you know, whenever I was in a podcast, it was like 50-50. You know, it was 50-50 with content creation and podcasting, and I wasn't really doing too much live streaming just because of how much time it was taking, you know. But as far as like some of these guys, they're like, oh, I want to be a live streamer, and it's like, if you want to be a live streamer, it's like being a live streamer is like being a stripper. You got to show it and you got to shake it. That's exactly how it is. You cannot make it as a live streamer if you suck as far as charisma goes. You know, and it's like you sure as hell can't make it as a live streamer if you're like, hey, you know what, I'm disabled, come watch me. It's like people are gonna be like, what, am I, a nurse in a hospital? You know, it's like, but if you're like, hey, you know what, I have disabilities, but I don't let that hold me down. You know what? And you're like, so we're gonna tackle blah blah blah, and you're like, yeah, let's go, and you know, you have that attitude and that charisma. It's fine if you admit you have, you know, disabilities and shit, but it's like, don't allow that to be your defining feature unless, you know, you are really savvy about it. You know, find something that really brings people to you, that draws people to you. You know, it's like if you can tell jokes, if you're good looking, if you know you're if like you're a stud and you're buff and you can do push-ups or lift weights or some shit like that. You look at the PlayStation guy, MBG, that's super pony, right? And I never really use that term. I hate that term. But he's like a super pony. If there's any pony, MBG is it. What is his name? Muscle-bound gamer. Because he was a muscle-bound dude that liked video games, and so it created that persona for him. That's what I'm saying. You got to have something that makes you stand out. Because the problem is, you got a hell of a lot of swinging dicks now on Twitch and Kick, and they just don't stand out. They just don't, you know. And it took me for a while, you know, to kind of figure out what it was that I brought to the table, you know. I think the Sergeant Sentinel thing makes more sense than Sentinel 17 that I used to have, you know, just because I use the Sentinel 17 in my novel, but it's not really that unique. But Sergeant Sentinel, you know, it makes more sense because SSG is Staff Sergeant, and that's my rank. So I said, yeah, you know what, that's cool. And then it's like I went back and forth whether I'm going to support PlayStation fully, I'm going to support Xbox fully. Again, I just, at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, I'm going to support certain types of games, but I can't be, you know, I can't be a fanboy and just say, oh, I'm going to, you know, all Xbox and no PlayStation, or vice versa. I just can't do that. You know.
If my work here is done, I'm going up the gantry.
And yeah, I mean, I would have a hell of a lot of, I would probably have more people checking out my vids and stuff if I went full fanboy, but I don't agree with that. You know, and ultimately at the end of the day, you have to decide what you agree with. You know, if you don't agree with something, then you don't want to be doing it. Be back in like 2 minutes. All right. One of my biggest pet peeves is a lot of these podcasters, or, I'll just say podcasters. Some of them, they don't like to be called podcasters, or they think podcasting is kind of, they don't like the term, but they'll get on Twitter and they'll beef with one another like they got real life, like they got real life heat,
I'm not permitted.
Yeah, and King David is pretty cool. He's not bad. You got some guys, though, that are, they're, oh, no, Trevor.
This is on you.
Oh, he's still alive. Thank God. I have no idea why he jumped off of there. He just got tired of life.
Hey, man. What's up?
Thank God he's a meth head and he's durable. Yeah, so like I was saying, you got some Xbox guys, even some PlayStation guys, and I don't really follow the PlayStation guys too much, just because I don't know, I'm just not the type of guy that enjoys being in barns, But anyways, so like, you have guys like, not even necessarily straight Xbox guys, just some guys that like both, but they don't like each other, and they'll beef with each other. And it's kind of like those two, you ever seen the video of those two dogs? Yeah, there you go. He knows how to do it without being toxic towards individuals, right? It's like you got some of these young cats, I guess you call them, that are beefing like crazy online, right? And it's like those two dogs, It's like the two dogs that are on the other side of the fence. And they're all barking and snarling and shit, but as soon as you open the fence and they're face to face, they're like, "Oh, so," you're like, "What the hell?" Acting hard, and then you see each other in real life, and you're like, "Sup, bro?" It's like, quit acting like you hard if you're gonna be like that in real life. But people, online, because they have that protection, right? Yeah, some of them aren't young, some of them are our age, I guess. But yeah, they act young. They act young and stupid, is what it is. So it's kind of like they acting crazy online, especially on Twitter. Some of these people acting like they got no brain, and it's like, Jesus Christ, are you serious? And they'll beef online for no damn reason, just for the attention, I guess. It's their one of their ways to get attention because they suck otherwise. And so here they are beefing online, acting crazy, and it's like, why, man? Y'all guys need to chill. It's like, I don't block anyone unless I absolutely have to, really, But you have people blocking people left and right, and then after they block them, they're talking shit about them, and it's like, you guys gotta stop with that shit, It's like, you guys gotta stop, Now, I'll have my days. I have my days where I'm probably a little crazy, But, I mean, I have a little bit of an anger problem, and I'm a moderate asshole. I'm a moderate asshole. Some days I'm a big asshole, but I try not to be. I try to be pretty chill. So I usually, it's like if I'm having a rough day, I might get on there and, really tear some people up. But for the most part, I try not to, just because I understand some people, like, you got to go to work, your boss is a piece of shit, or you got bills you can't pay, and you're stressed out, you and your wife are having problems, all kinds of shit can happen. It's like, you don't know what types of problems they're having in real life. And Twitter is just like, you sit at a fucking computer, or you mess with it on your phone. I mean, a lot of people say that ain't real life, and for the most part it's not. But you're going to go and beef with someone because you have a spat on Twitter? It's like, I understand calling people out for some stupid shit because there needs to be accountability, but again, it's like, you shouldn't be super stressed out about that shit. Sometimes you just gotta let it slide, Oh, damn it, I'm supposed to go on the other side, aren't I? Alright. That's kind of, what, I could have taken a picture from there, but alright, whatever, game. Whatever, GTA. I'll follow your little rules. Yeah, so, the leak that they were talking about, the Liam guy that leaked it, I'm actually cool with him I'm cool with him online, on Twitter, and he said he spoke to a couple of Rockstar employees, and that's where he got the information from, and that he figured out afterwards that the information wasn't really credible, and he apologized for it, but people are still attacking him. You know, and it's like, you guys gotta chill. It's like, and he said somebody was like sending him death threats or some shit, and it's like, god damn. You know? I'll take a long shot of the back of the ship. Alright, here we go. Does that suffice? Let's go. Raunchy Ron, photo sent. I would jump off again because I know Trevor can make it, but you know, he can make it with full health. I don't think he can make it now. So he can use the ladder or the stairs. You know, if GTA 5 was like GTA 4, they would let you come back and do jobs, you know, like moving the freight around and shit. Because if you remember GTA San Andreas, that's what I meant. Like GTA San Andreas, Carl could drive the trucks and all the other stuff, which is pretty cool. You know, it basically allowed you to do different types of jobs. So if you wanted to earn clean money that wasn't criminal, you could do it, which is cool, you know.
This rig ain't being used. It's on the other side of Port City.
All right, give me a second.
So
Let me
they've
see.
been going to one of them dry docks. We can take a look at it, but no one's allowed around there.
Normal rules.
Hold on a
don't
second, I gotta
apply
check
to
this
us,
out.
Floyd. We're going in.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree about the internet being bad with anonymity, especially, you know what, it's like,
You're a failure.
it's
You're in
even
a
worse
hopeless
this year because of, oh, I can't, the hell, I didn't disconnect the trailer. Alright, let me go. What the fuck? Hold on a second. I'll be right back, give me like 5 minutes. All right, sorry about that. Had to help the missus with something. Now, let me see about getting this trailer back on this tractor. Come on. Let's go. At the door.
What do you mean?
There we go.
I love Deborah.
If she
Like Tanya said,
she'd be here, wouldn't she? But she's not.
back it up and it'll slide right in. Although I'm not sure that's what she was talking about.
Dead-end job.
What? Dead end? No.
Floyd,
What a hooker.
dead end.
Being a unionized longshoreman's one
Thanks,
of
I
the best
appreciate
paid
it.
jobs in the country. You tell people around La Puerta that's
Yeah,
what you
once I
do.
drop this truck off and Trevor goes back to the house, that's probably going to be it for the live stream today just because I got other stuff going on. But I did want to get an hour's worth of live streaming today, you know, just because it's some type of content on my channel.
So bad.
You know, I try to keep my channel active with some type of content, and I do have, I'm waiting on Gamefly to send me certain games like Rise of Ronin and Star Wars Outlaws and a few others, and I'll do game review videos for those, but I gotta wait till they show up, you know, because it's been like a week already, and the disc got lost in the mail, which isn't a surprise,
Him busy while we
because I live in Milwaukee, and my mail gets stolen about 25% of the time, so it's no big surprise. You know, it's like all the time I lived in Texas when I was a kid, all that time together, I think our mail got stolen about 5 times. But like the first year alone we moved here, my mail got stolen like 15 times. From people that work at the post office. It's not from people coming up and stealing it out of the box. It's people that actually work at the post office. And it just blows my fucking mind, you know. And they have all these investigations, and people keep getting caught and going to prison, and they keep stealing. It's like different people will steal the fucking mail, and it's like, what the hell? You know?
Hey, 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 hey. You can't come through here. It's restricted
That's why I'll tell, like, if I order stuff from Amazon, a lot of times I'll pick it up. Because I tell them, you know what, if your people aren't delivering it to my house, and it somehow is finding its way into the hands of the U.S. Postal Service, I said, nope, that ain't gonna work, because someone's gonna end up stealing that shit. There was a postal worker that was working here, had one of his homeboys following him around when he was dropping packages off and stealing them, and it turns out they were working together, and like over $15,000 worth of shit had been stolen, because what he said is he'd call his homeboy up and say, hey man, I'm delivering it, you know, all these packages today, follow me around, wait till I'm, you know, like 2-3 minutes down the way, and come pick them up. And that's what they were doing. And that's not an isolated incident. That shit happens all the time around here. It's ridiculous. But fuck it, it is what it is, I guess. Part of living in a big city in America in 2024.
Trevor? These
Okay, that's enough of you, Ron. That guy is so annoying. He reminds me of people I know in real life. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, you know, I love Grand Theft Auto. It's like I love sandbox style open world crime action games, but it's like they're a dying breed. You know, Saints Row accidentally killed themselves whenever they did all the stupid shit in the reboot, making it about hipsters instead of gangsters. And true crime is MIA, probably never coming back, because Sleeping Dogs was basically the spiritual successor of true crime. And, you know, it's gone. We're not getting a sequel to Sleeping Dogs 2 because the studio's gone. And then you had Crackdown, which is kind of like the flip side of that, where you're playing as a superpowered cop, which is cool. I'm cool with that, completely cool with that. But again, Crackdown 3 kind of dropped the ball, you know, and kicked it into oncoming traffic, so to speak. So it's like, out of all of those that made up the GTA clone genre, essentially GTA is all that's left. And hell, they don't even make single player content anymore outside of huge releases. So it's kind of sad, but I mean, it's just the changing of the times, you know? Yeah, Saints Row, the problem with Saints Row is that you have people that went to college to be game developers that feel like they are activists, and they put a lot of stupid shit in the game. And it's like if I'm going to make a game about making fucking pizzas and I hate pizza, how much sense does that make? Or if I'm going to make a game about Italian culture and I never study Italian culture, how the fuck am I going to make a game about Italian culture? I'm not going to, at least not well. And that was a problem, because Saints Row is a game about gangs. And they made Saints Row, the new one, a game about hipsters thinking they're gangsters. And it's like, are you fucking serious? And then they were calling people who didn't like their game domestic terrorists. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense that they're gone. They kind of deserve. Yeah, Activision has no place in games. Exactly right. Save that shit for your off time. Don't do that shit here. Exactly right. And it's like, you can go out and hold up whatever pick a sign you want and protest or march or any of that shit on your free time. No one's telling you you can't. It's just like, don't take a beloved franchise that I enjoyed playing and I grew up with and turn it into absolute activism dog shit. It's like, don't do that, you know? Because it's like, unless you're making a game that, you know, its whole identity is about activism or this or that, it's like, if it ties into that, then I get it. But Saints Row doesn't. It's like, it's not about fucking hipsters. It's like, Johnny Gat would have gone into the new Saints Row headquarters and beat the hell out of every single one of them and said, hell no, you're not joining the Saints. You know? Yeah, do it with my own franchise. That's exactly right. Now, the problem is they want established franchises so that they can reach people. Even if it compromises the franchise, they don't give a shit, because it's all about reaching people and basically turning them to their way of thinking. And it's like, stop. If they want to join your cause, fine, that's great. But if they don't force it down their throat. It's their freedom to choose. It's not, you know, it's not your role to forcibly make them. And with a lot of these activists that are masquerading as game devs, that's the problem they're running into. They don't want people to choose. They want people to be forced to believe how they believe. And it's like, don't do that shit. You know? It's like, because then, it's like, if your message alone isn't good enough to convince people to join your cause, then one of two things. You need to revamp how you message it, number one. Or number two, your cause sucks and you need to walk away. I mean, it's simple as that, you know. And that's what we saw in Saints Row. And as far as them being activists, and as far as them putting some of this stupid shit in Saints Row, you know. Now, the game had a plethora of issues. I pre-ordered it. I played it at launch. It had tons of technical issues that it should not have had. But, again, that's the problem, is that you have these people that don't really give a shit about games, that are making games, and of course they're going to have tons of issues. But if you have someone that loves games, you know, even if they make a mistake, they're going to stick by it and they're going to make it better. You need people like that. But unfortunately, most of those people were active in gaming from the 80s to the 2000s, and a lot of them kind of retired, left, tapered off.
All right, so
it's just how it is.
On my observations, I'd say these Merryweather security cocksnots are sitting on something real valuable. I think they got 2 of these things, but we only need 1. First one is on that freighter in a container below deck. They got guards all over that ship, so it's likely they're keeping it on ice.
The unfortunate reality is that they're going to destroy every franchise they touch. And when they're done, we're not going to have anything left.
Which means we have to blow up the ship and grab the thing underwater. Need a guy to plant the bombs, a guy to look out for them with a rifle, and a guy to grab the thing, whatever it is, underwater. That means stealing us a submarine, of course, but you can find us one of them, can't you? Huh? Now, the other one is off the coast being tested. They're running the operation from the dock where I last saw your cousin. We'll need a submarine for that too, and probably a chopper, a big one. We go out there, look around underwater, locate it, bring it back here, and find out what it is.
Here?
Chicago?
Aye, so, what do you
I
think?
swear
Container
Floyd
ship
is such
or
a
whatever's
dumbass.
offshore?
Or not Floyd, what's the other one? His retarded ICP friend. What's his name? Wade. Wade is such an idiot. Yeah, you know what?
It's
I'll
gotta
pick
be
that
the
one.
container, right?
That one's decent.
You and Floyd can help, and we'll bring along Michael and his unpaid intern.
Okay, all right.
What is that smell?
Oh, we are going straight to the local union rep. Wade here was injured in the performance of his duties. Human waste has seeped into his very pores, and I am sorry to say this, but I don't think he's ever going to smell normal again.
You can't go to the union.
You are union, all right? And you vouched for us, all right? You look at him, man. Smell him. No. Smell him.
Trevor, you're planning a robbery on my place of work. You violated Mr. Raspberry Jam, and God alone knows what else. You damaged Deborah. Look, my lady and my union, that's all I got. So why don't we just let this all slide, huh?
If you're comfortable with what's happened to your cousin, then so be it, all right? But I would give him a bath and rinse him off.
No! No bath!
Yep, that's why remakes and remasters are popular. Because they're not changing much about what was so successful before. Definitely agree. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my live stream. I do greatly appreciate it. Poison Maniac, as always, thank you for dropping in, brother. I appreciate it so very much. If you did enjoy this live stream, definitely hit that like button.
Trevor!
Goodbye. Yes, thank you. Anyways, like I was saying, if you enjoyed this live stream, definitely hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And that if you have something to say, leave it in the comment section below. Take it easy, Poison Maniac. This is SSG, aka Sergeant Sentinel. Take it easy, gamers.